Hello everyone, my name is Julian. It is nighttime. It's raining outside because Wisconsin can't make up its damn mind what season it wants it to be. And it's kind of dark in here. So let's do a book review, because the conditions are right. The conditions are absolutely wrong, but never mind. But Kinshu is here. Nobody panic, Kinshu is here. So the book we're going to be talking about today is called Finding Audrey, and I'm going to read the synopsis off of Goodreads because it's been a minute since I read this one. I'm going to use my laptop candy. Audrey can't leave the house. She can't even take off her dark glasses inside the house. When her brother's friend Linus stumbles into her life with his friendly orange slice smile and his funny notes, he starts to entice Audrey out again. Well, Starbucks is a start. And with Linus on her side, Audrey feels like she can do the things she thought were too scary. Suddenly, finding her way back to the real world seems achievable. So that's a nice short synopsis. I'll be honest with you, if I had read that synopsis before reading this book, I probably wouldn't have given it a chance. But I think I saw somebody else talking about this book and talking about how it was a portrayal of someone with severe social anxiety, and I have social anxiety, though not this bad, and so I was like, okay, I'll give that a shot. And like I said, that premise doesn't sound nearly as enticing as somebody being like, hey, this is a representation of anxiety. Check it out. Kinshu is very, very hyper tonight. Hey guys, this is the world's fastest reminder that you can support me on Patreon and see all kinds of exclusive videos like these ones. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. So this was a slice of life kind of contemporary story without some big, huge world-ending plot or anything like that. And as such, the characters felt pretty real to me. A lot of these slice of life stories can dedicate the page time to the characters, and this one I think did a pretty good job. The character that comes closest to being a villain, because there aren't really villains in this, is the mother, who is very strict and she can be annoying at times, but I am in that point in my life where I can relate to the mom characters. Even though I don't have kids, I'm starting to relate to the adult characters in young adult books, so I can understand where the mom is coming from, even if she does take it to extremes. But I think most people would find her kind of annoying and be frustrated with her. I can get behind a good frustrating character, though, if I can understand where they're coming from. You could tell that I'm okay with frustrating people, because Kinshu is my cat. Don't claw me, please. My legs. Please don't claw me, Kinshu. I did find the anxiety itself, when it was portrayed, to be pretty relatable. Even though I don't have agoraphobia myself, sometimes my social anxiety does affect my day-to-day life. I always kind of say that my anxiety doesn't affect my life until it does. One day I just won't be able to go into a coffee shop because I just can't. You know, and or one day I just won't be able to go grocery shopping because I just can't. So every now and then it will stop me from doing normal life things, but not nearly as bad as Audrey, who is essentially trapped in her house and can't even get herself to make eye contact, hence the dark glasses. I will say that often when I do go shopping, I sensory deprive myself by having my earbuds in and my hood up to kind of block out the shopping experience and the people around me, so I felt like Audrey's portrayal was pretty relatable, even though I don't have the exact anxiety situation that she has. There is something that causes Audrey to have a break. She is going to school, she's doing reasonably fine, she does still have anxiety, but then something happens, and we pick up after that something has happened, and to my recollection, we never find out what the thing was that happened. We do find out that it was something to do with another person, and maybe apologies are needed, and maybe apologies are never had, but what was the thing? It's never, at least to me, clear. Maybe somebody else reading it is like, oh, it's completely clear. But to me, I didn't know what it was, and I felt like I missed it. And I think, personally, I would have liked to have known. I think maybe it doesn't matter to the story, really, but it kind of does, because it's the thing that caused this story to happen, really, that caused her to become agoraphobic and just shut herself in at home. So I would have liked to have known what that was. This book does a very common thing where it starts with a very dramatic scene from later in the story and then backs us up till we get to that point. Your mileage may vary with this. It's not quite a book that's all flashbacks, because it's more of a gimmick, starting out with something in the middle to end of the story and then going back, but some people are not going to love that. I don't love that. I like to start a story at the beginning, but I know that some people need that to be grabbed, so that might be your jam. Something that you may have picked up on just from reading the synopsis is that this book does kind of low-key imply that if you get yourself a romantic partner, it will help cure your mental illness. And we all know how I feel about that. As we have often discussed in my other videos, having a significant other does not cure your mental illness. Maybe it can help, but it doesn't fix it. Now, this book doesn't go all the way. This book doesn't go quite as hard as some books where the romance cures the mental illness, but it is there in this book for sure. Because the boy is the one getting her back out of her shell and taking her into the world, and he has a reasonably easy time of it. It's kind of frustrating. And because of that also, the romantic interest is pretty much a perfect angel who is exactly the person that the main character needs. And again, it's not very realistic. You're never going to find in your life this perfect person who has no flaws and is always there for you. And even when they make a mistake, they immediately come and apologize and cure your mental illness. Otherwise, we basically get Audrey's family as far as characters, and lip service is paid to Audrey having another friend who is a girl, but she's like just mentioned and she's there and gone. I think she was in like one scene to be like, look, Audrey does have other friends. It's not just the boy, but it is really just the boy. It would have been nice if her female friends had also come to get her out of her shell instead of perfect boyfriend material having to do it. Kinshu has left me. There is a lot of stuff in this book about gaming. Her brother wants to be a pro gamer and having to deal with that while going to school and dealing with his mother who does not understand that whole thing, and I found it to be very relatable and realistic. I have family members who are also working towards and achieving being professional gamers, and so it's pretty well done and pretty relatable. Of the books that I've read, I really like the dad character. He's very relatable. He's definitely that older guy who wishes that he had maybe had kids later in his life and been able to follow his dreams more. My goodness, Nigel. And can relate, you know, like you get to a certain point in your life and you realize that you haven't achieved those dreams that you always thought you would have achieved by now, and you're like, well, damn it. And I don't even have kids, so what's my excuse? But I related really hard with the dad. They're all pretty good and they're all fairly well-rounded, but I definitely felt like the dad spoke to me, as well as Audrey, of course. The climax and ending of this book unfortunately let me down, and I think that's why I gave it 4 instead of 5 stars on Goodreads, aside from the boyfriend cures your mental illness trope. You know what's coming, you know that things are going too well for her and a break is going to have to happen. I don't feel like that's too much of a spoiler because it's pretty obvious as you're reading the book. But I felt like things were resolved too quickly and easily, and that kind of let this ending down. In life, there are no easy answers, no quick fixes, especially when it comes to mental illness. So those are my thoughts on Finding Audrey. Did you guys read it? What did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. Do you have any favorite books about people with anxiety? Please do send suggestions my way. If you liked what you saw here, I have a ton of other reviews on this channel. You're bound to find something you like. They're all arranged in a nice playlist for you, so go check those out. Wander the channel at your leisure. If you want to support this channel monetarily, you can help me over on Patreon, where if you donate as little as $1 a month, you get exclusive content not seen here on the regular channel. If you want to keep up with me on social media, which is mostly pictures of my pets, let's be real, all the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking. I post new videos Mondays and Fridays, and I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! Well, it's that time again. It's time to thank my amazing patrons of the month. This month we have Lennox, Amanda, Baruch, Irene, Jenny, Kim, Lisa, Sabby Panda, Sam, Sarah, Savvy, and Scribbling Cat. And I hope all my patrons continue to support me because they are the very best, like no one ever was.